Continuing our discussion of format string vulnerabilities, we left off looking at the EAX register, and we were able to use a specially crafted format string to set this value for EAX. Now, we said that we also want to set the value for ECX. In other words, what is going to be copied into the memory location pointed to by EAX. So the first question we might have is, what value do we want for EAX and ECX? So EAX needs to point at some function pointer, some return address, or something similar that I know will be called in my program. Now, you can take your pick. There should be several of these in the call stack from your program. In order to view the call stack, one way you can do this in Immunity is to press Alt-K, and it should bring up your call stack, and you'll notice there are a few addresses. Here there's an address of 22FDF8, as well as what it returns to. Another thing that you could do is to simply look at my stack. So if I look at my stack here in this window, and I scroll down a little bit, I will find several return values, and I will also find my format string, which is stored in the stack. So if I scroll down just a little bit further here, I will eventually find, for example, this return value. So this is a return value from my printf call. So 22FE3C, that's one potential value. And if I scroll down a little further, I will see that 22FE4C is another possibility. I also see my shellcode. Again, I just had placeholders of A's, B's, C's, etc. And sure enough, here at 22FE50, you might want to write that down, I have these values. Great. Well, I already know how to set this value of EAX equal to what I want. And again, I use the null terminating character at the end of my string for this 0 because it's little endian format. I can get away with that. And here are the B's, which I entered at the end. What about ECX? Well, ECX is that count, that in, how many characters have I printed out? So how do I affect this? I just print more characters. Now, the goal is to print more characters without changing the length of my format string. And that is the reason I had all those zeros and 16s before my X format strings. So how does this work? All I need to do is figure out how I can get this register to be equal to 22FE50, the starting point for my shell script. How do I do that? Well, I can use a calculator, and I want 22FE50 minus what's currently there, 11B, and that gives me this value. Now, in the Linux calculator, you'll notice that it also displays this value in decimal notation, and this value is over 2 million. I can easily take this value and split it. So I'm going to change to decimal mode. I divide by 4, and I get approximately 573,261. So now if I return to my debug screen, I can change 00016 to be the value that I calculated, 573,261. So let me change my argument to 573,261. I will change this value to 573261, 573261. And then finally, I will change this first value to 573262 because it didn't come out evenly. Restart my program, run it. We need to wind that back because I only did 3 values. I should have done 4. So I will take that value 573261 and I will replace my 0016 with that value for 3 cases And for one case, I will put 573262 because I had an extra left over. We'll try that and we'll see how this works. Restart, run it, boom. Now suddenly I've messed up my EAX and I'm almost there for this value as well. So what can I do to fix that? First, let me try to fix the EAX value. So I'll look at my argument and say, do I need to pull an extra value? Restart, run it. Still not quite there yet. Try pulling another argument off of the stack. Restart, run it. I'm almost there. I have my 6262 6E25. So it looks like I need just a couple of bytes. We'll start out with one more %x. Restart, run it. And now we are back to having 626262, which is what we wanted. And this is 22FE30. We wanted 50. So we're off by 20 hex or 32, 16 times 2. Let's fix that. Now, nobody says you have to add these things equally. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add 32 here to the end of this one. Restart and play it. Bam. We have our desired value, our marker of B's, and EAX, which we will reset to another value later. We also have our desired value in ECX, which points to our format string. We're going to take a brief break here, and when we come back, we're actually going to run this exploit.